Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the Malik Robinson Show. I'm your host, Malik Robinson, and today I'm here to discuss everything that happened in the sports news over the weekend. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to keep this as short as possible, but at the same time, I'm not going to be talking about everything because this is probably going to be the calmest I'm going to be. It's probably gonna be one of the more times where you actually see me not angry, but a little frustrated and confused. So, of course, the NFL season started this week and this weekend. Um, you had everyone, all the games playing, every team played. I guess we can go ahead and go into some scores because it is a couple games that I want to talk about. Actually, no. What I want to do is first, I want to get college football out the way first. I'm just gonna go over some of the more important games. Not every single game, because not every single game was watch worthy. So number 12 Oregon defeated number 3 Ohio State 35-28. I'm going to go into detail about that because, as you know, I am an Ohio State fan, so you can only imagine how I feel about that. I'm going to get into it. Oklahoma blew out Western Carolina 76-0, which is, it's Oklahoma, so what do we expect? Number 5 Texas A&M defeated Colorado 10-7. It came down to a receiving touchdown by Isaiah Spiller in the clutch with 3 minutes left to give Texas A&M the lead. Texas A&M trailed for almost the majority of that game, so good thing they got that touchdown for them. Let's see what else we have here. Number 8 Notre Dame just beats Toledo 32-29. I'm not sure what happened. I heard Jack Cohn dislocated his finger, went to the sideline, put it back in place, threw a game-winning touchdown. So shout out to Jack Cohn, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. Notre Dame is starting to show their fool's gold kind of early. Okay, and then next game we have number 10 Iowa defeated number 9 Iowa State 27-17. And like I said last weekend's podcast, Iowa has the potential to be a top 10 defense in NCAA. They have a top 10 defense. I'm going to stick by it. Their defense is phenomenal. Next we have Stanford defeats number 14 USC 42-28. I wanted to rant about this game, but I didn't watch it enough to really rant about it, but I do know this for a fact. First play of the game, the kicker of all people gets kicked out for targeting, so I found that kind of weird. And then it led me to think, I've discussed targeting. What is targeting? Because what I saw kind of wasn't targeting. I guess I can see why I was targeting. I'm confused. Targeting is something that we truly need to be explained. I don't think it can be explained. It's literally a bang bang call. I'm also going to discuss targeting when it comes to the Ohio State game, because it was a targeting call that probably should have been called, but I'm going to get into that. Next up, we have number 15 Texas being upset by Arkansas 40-21. So horns down. Sorry about that. Texas is not back. Texas probably won't be back for a long time. So yeah. Sorry, Texas fans. Next up, we have BYU upsetting number 21 Utah's 26-17. I don't really know much about that. I do know that is an upset in the book, technically. So yeah. Number 22 Miami holds off Appalachian State 25-23. Now I will admit, I expected the game to go this way. I expected it to be a very close game because Appalachian State, I don't know what it is, they're pretty good for some reason. They're very good for some reason. I don't know why. And as far as that, the rest were just blowouts. We can go to the college rankings real quick because they were recently just released. Alabama stays at number 1. Number 2, Georgia stays at number 2. Oklahoma goes up to number 3. Oregon jumps up 8 slots to number 4. We'll see how long that lasts. Iowa jumps up 5 spots to number 5. Clemson stays at number 6. Texas A&M drops to number 7. Cincinnati drops to number 8. Ohio State drops to number 9. Penn State goes up to number 10. Florida goes up to number 11. Notre Dame drops out of the top 10 and goes to number 12. UCLA goes up to 13. Iowa State goes out of the top 10 and down to number 14. Virginia Tech goes up to 15. Coastal Carolina goes up to 16. Ole Miss goes up to 17. Wisconsin stays at 18. Arizona State jumps up to 19. And Arkansas is finally ranked. They're in the top 20 at number 20. North Carolina jumps up to number 21. Auburn jumps up to number 22. BYU is officially ranked now at number 23. Miami goes down number 2 spots to number 24. And Michigan is finally in the rankings at number 25. So I do want to talk about it's really one game in particular. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. I watched this game. Frustrating game to watch. I will admit, frustrating game to watch for simple reasons. And I talked about this too. The run defense, we have to fix it if we want to win. We did not fix our run defense. And that frustrates me because I know we can play better than that. We have played better than that. But to allow 269 yards rushing, that's ridiculous. They had more rushing yards than passing yards. We let their star running back run for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, our run game was efficient, but 200 yards in back-to-back games. I'm not surprised we lost. It's just sad. And I saw a lot of people blaming the defensive coordinator. I saw a lot of blame being put. The defensive coordinator is somewhat at fault. Because, boy, the play calling was atrocious. I saw man coverage where we shouldn't have seen man coverage. It was sad to watch. I mean, on the offensive end, we didn't play bad. The only thing that really confused me was, where was our kicker? Where was Noah Ruggles? He wasn't hurt because he kicked the extra points. First drive, we could have kicked a field goal, but we went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. The next drive, we could have kicked a field goal. 4th down, we go for it, didn't get it. That's 6 points. 6 costly points. Do you know how that makes a big difference? And no, I'm not talking just the scoreboard. I'm saying momentum-wise. Because those 2 4th downs gave them momentum. It gave them so much momentum. So, I don't know what it is with Ohio State and us not recruiting good kickers, but we need to recruit a good kicker. I hate that we don't have a good kicker every time. It always comes down to the kicks with us. But as far as the defense goes, fix it. Fix it. Fix it, or otherwise, this is going to be another year where we probably see Iowa versus another team like Penn State. Fix it, because I guarantee you every team in the Big Ten is going to run through us. But something I did want to talk about, because I said targeting. It was a targeting. I felt like it should have been called targeting. From the targeting calls we've seen that have been absolutely ridiculous and some that should have been called, Chris Olave, it was a drag route. I can't remember what play exactly it was. It was a drag route. Chris Olave went kind of down to put his head down. But at the same time, the defender made contact with him with his helmet. The crown of his helmet. They didn't call it targeting. Everyone saw the replay. And At first, I'm like, okay, I can see why it's targeting. I mean, I can see why it's not targeting. You know, he went down. What else is supposed to defend? What is the defender supposed to do? He can't change his mind, split decision like that. I understand that. But if I watch another game and see somebody get targeting for the same thing, then it's targeting. Or fix the rule. That's all you have to do. Because 1 minute, I think I figured out targeting, and the next minute, I'm questioning, do I even know anything? That's all I got to say about this game. Ohio State, fix it. Ryan Day, fix it. Ryan Day, I'm not letting Ryan Day slide either. He did not coach well. He did not coach well. He absolutely did not. Terrible coaching, terrible defense, terrible all around. I mean, the only person that somewhat played good was C.J. Stroud, but I mean, yeah, if you pay attention to the stats, you think, oh, C.J. Stroud didn't play that bad. It's not his fault. C.J. Stroud overthrew so many passes that I've never seen him overthrow. It caught me by surprise. And then the pick at the end, that was the icing on the cake. A terrible throw leading to a terrible result. So that's all I got to say about that. That's all I have for NCAA football. I don't even want to talk about anything else. That was the only thing worth talking about this week. I promise you, that is the only thing worth talking about this week. That's literally it. So on to other things, because we pretty much got into that detail. We'll talk about baseball real quick. As I'm recording this, the Twins are beating the Yankees 4-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Great games this weekend. I'll be honest, I'm not going to talk about every score. I'm not going to. But I will talk about the games over this weekend. Very good games. The Blue Jays scored 22 runs against the Orioles. So, yeah, it looks like I might get my prediction wrong that it'll be Boston versus the Yankees in the wild card. It's looking real Boston versus Blue Jays, because the Blue Jays are on fire right now. And I mean absolutely on fire. And also this weekend, Chris Bryant did return to Chicago. Very feel-good moment for him. And of course, the Giants did end up winning, I think, the entire series. I don't remember hearing the Cubs win, so I think they won the entire series. Yankees versus Mets. They played on 9/11, the day of 9/11. I'll be honest, that was probably one of the better games I think I've ever watched this year. It was very entertaining. The crowd was very into it. I overall loved it. And, you know, it's not every day you enjoy a game that Joe Buck commentates, but it's something about the energy of that game. Maybe it was because of the fact that it was 9/11 day and it was just, you know, they did a lot for it. But yeah, that was one of the better games. That's probably one of the best games I've seen since the Field of Dreams game. But the Yankees did win that game. Aaron Judge did homer twice to give the Yankees the win. Also, something I noticed, Corbin Burns and Josh Hader combined for a no-hitter, which is the 9th no-hitter in the MLB today, which is a record. But the thing is, I was watching the no-hit. I wasn't watching it, but I was on no-hit watch. I don't know what happened that game, but from what I heard on Twitter, Corbin Burns could have stayed in the game. He could have stayed in that game. And it threw me off guard too, because I'm like, I don't know what happened, but why are they putting in Corbin Burns? I mean, why are they taking out Corbin Burns and putting in Josh Hader? I mean, it's just, it was weird. It was weird, but they got a combined no-hitter. Definitely would have been better to see Corbin Burns get the no-hitter himself, but it is what it is. What else happened this weekend? Oh yeah, Sunday. Yankees versus Mets. Francisco Lindor just went crazy. Francisco Lindor went insane. 3 home runs. Mets defeated the Yankees 7-6. I mean, there's not much you can really say. Francisco Lindor. That's it. 3 home runs. But something else that I did want to get into Max Scherzer, 3,000 home runs. I said 3,000 home runs, 3,000 strikeouts. So, shout out to Max Scherzer. I think in that same game, he had like a no-hitter through 7 innings, I think. So, shout out to Max Scherzer. We all knew he was going to reach that point. So, shout out to Max Scherzer. Let's see what else. Trevor Bauer is done for the season, which is kind of what we all expected. With all the allegations, it was no way it was going to happen. Francisco Lindor, in the 3 home run game, there was a lot of taunting going on. There was a lot of taunting. And then after the game, he said something about possibly, I think sign stealing or sign whistling. I'm not sure how baseball works. I know sign stealing is a thing since the Astros did it in, I believe, 2017. But hopefully we can hear more about that. I'm not exactly sure. But that's kind of all it is for the news right now. Let's go into the MLB standings. So in the standings, Tampa Bay currently still leads the division, the AL East. The White Sox currently lead the AL Central, and the Astros currently lead the AL West. The Braves still lead the NL East. The Brewers still lead the NL Central, and the Giants still lead the NL West. Now into the wild card standings, it is very, very close. Toronto has the first wild card spot, and I'm not surprised. They're on fire. 44 runs in their last 3 games combined. That's insane. Boston Red Sox, they have that spot right there. The second one, and then right behind them is the Yankees, Mariners, and Athletics in the American League. And then in the National League, you have the Dodgers, of course, number 1. And then right behind them, you have the Padres, Reds, Cardinals, Phillies, and Mets. All right behind them fighting for that spot. So it's going to be very close to see how things turn out. But, yeah, that's all I have for baseball. Now on to football. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to take a small intermission because I am going to go into great detail about everything that happened in week 1, or the most important things, I'll be honest. But I'm going to take a quick intermission. I'll be right back. All right, we are officially back. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. So let me just get the quick news out the way. Very unfortunate news. Lions corner Jeff Okudah did tear his Achilles, and he is unfortunately out for the season. That is actually very unfortunate because, like I said, I'm a Ohio State fan, and seeing Jeff Okudah go down like that, it's very sad. So I just wanted to get that out of the way real quick because I did see that this morning. But yeah. Also, Marshawn Lattimore did agree to a 5-year, $97.6 million extension with the New Orleans Saints right after their win over the 49ers. I mean, not the 49ers, the Packers. Speaking of the 49ers, Jason Verrett, they fear that Jason Verrett has torn his ACL. But and Raheem Mostert, they feel that his injury is not ACL related, which is good because Raheem Mostert has been injury prone for the last couple of years, so it is good to kind of see that. But yeah, let's get straight into the news because in fact, let's just go straight to the scores, and I'm going to talk about not every game, but every game that I had to witness, because boy, do I have a lot to talk about today. Oh, I see, this is why I love football. I overreact, and I start thinking. So, first game, Eagles defeated the Falcons 32-6. Devontae Smith did catch his first touchdown of his career, which is kind of expected. I kind of expected that. Jalen Hurts, 27 for 35, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great game by Jalen Hurts. I didn't expect him to play bad. yeah, I mean, it's just the Eagles they looked good. Simple as that. They looked good. They didn't have any really weak spots from what I've seen. Yeah, everyone played good all around. Kenneth Gainwell, former Memphis Tiger, ran for a touchdown as well. So it was nice to see that. And if you're wondering, for Atlanta, Matt Ryan threw for no touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, only four catches, 31 yards. He was targeted 8 times. So yeah, that's kind of just the update on that. But yeah, next game, Steelers defeat the Bills 23-16. This one is interesting because the Bills, if I'm not mistaken, they scored. They were up 10-0 at the end of the first half, and then the second half happened, and everything just fell apart. Everything fell apart. Josh Allen didn't play the worst game. Big Ben didn't play his best game. I don't know what. I'm gonna just assume the defense is what happened. I mean, yes, from what I heard, it was a blocked punt, return for a touchdown. But besides that, I really have no knowledge of this game. I just know that the Bills blew a lead. Simple as that. I don't have that much information on this game. Next up, we have the Bengals defeating the Vikings 27-24 in overtime. Joe Burrow came back 20 for 27, 261 yards, 2 TDs. It was nice to see Joe Burrow back on the field. Kirk Cousins, 36 for 49, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Kirk Cousins had a day himself. And also for rushing, Joe Mixon did rush for 127 yards and 1 touchdown. Minnesota receiving wise, Adam Thielen led in receiving, 9 catches, 92 yards, and the 2 touchdowns. And for Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, 5 catches on 7 targets, 101 yards. All I'm gonna say is, I think he finally found the laces on the ball. He backed up the talk. He backed up the talk. Everyone saw him struggling preseason. Everyone was worried. But Jamar Chase backed up the talk, and I'm very happy to see that happen for him. It's always good to see stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely good to see that. Bengals do get the win. 49ers defeat the Lions 41-33. This is interesting because if I'm not mistaken, the 49ers were up big, like very big in this game, and then they just started blowing the lead. Jimmy Garoppolo, 17-25, 314 yards, 1 touchdown. Trey Lance also came in for 1 pass, and it was a touchdown from 5 yards out. Jared Goff, 38-57, 338 yards, and 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Now, if you was to look at this stat line, you would probably think, oh, Jared Goff actually played good on the new team. But from what I saw on Twitter, it was a whole lot of complaining in the beginning. A whole lot of complaining from people. As his 1 pick was actually a pick 6 to Drake Greenlaw. Besides that, I mean, he played an alright game. Like I said, this is one of those games where I genuinely don't have a lot of information on it. I do know that the 49ers did let him back in the game by fumbling a lot. But for receiving, Deebo Samuel, 9 catches, 189 yards, 1 touchdown. So if you had Deebo Samuel on fantasy, I bet you're happy right now. TJ Hockenson for the Lions, 8 catches, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. And that's pretty much it from that game. In fact, I'm actually not even going to go into that much detail about every game because I really want to get to what I want to talk about and rant about because it's going to take longer than this entire episode, I bet you. Seahawks defeat the Colts 28-16. Russell Wilson 4 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett caught two of them. Same old thing. Seattle dominating, stuff like that. Chargers defeat the Washington football team 20-16. Justin Herbert 1 touchdown. Antonio Gibson for Washington ran 90 yards. Keenan Allen also 9 catches, 100 yards. And from what I heard, Ryan Fitzpatrick is on IR. So it looks like Taylor Heineke is going to officially be starting for the football team for the foreseeable future. Next up, the Panthers defeat the Jets 19-14. Sam Darnold actually played a very solid game. 24 for 35, 279 yards and 1 touchdown. For the Jets, Zach Wilson played pretty good, although he was sacked 6 times. He went 20 for 37, 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. It wasn't that bad of the game by the Jets. It's just those sacks. 6 sacks isn't gonna do good. Next game, the Texans defeat the Jaguars 37-21. Trevor Lawrence 28 for 51, 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he did have 3 picks. Definitely got to fix that with him. Tyrod Taylor, 21 for 33, 291 yards, and 2 touchdowns. From what I heard, Tyrod Taylor was actually playing very good out there. So, shout out to Tyrod Taylor. I'm sorry I doubted him. I didn't really doubt him. I just didn't have him winning the division. But, yeah. Next game, the Chiefs defeat the Browns 33-29. Mahomes comeback. Yeah. Same thing we see every single time. Mahomes 27 for 36, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill 11 catches, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce also called 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's about it for Kansas City. Baker Mayfield 21 for 28 yards. 21 for 28, 321 yards. No touchdowns, but 1 pick. Nick Chubb ran for two touchdowns. Kareem Hunt ran for 1, and Jarvis Landry ran for 1. What can I say about this game? I had to go through the frustrations of watching this game as well, because it looked like Kansas City was gonna go down. They weren't going to catch momentum, and then out of nowhere, touchdowns on their end, defense steps up. All of a sudden, the punter for Cleveland doesn't realize just because he fumbled the snap, he can't punt the ball, so he tries to run with it, and now he gets tackled, and the ball is in the Cleveland 15-yard line, and the Chiefs end up scoring the game-time touchdown. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. I want to say Mahomes is one of the luckiest quarterbacks ever, but I can't, because that's understating him. But the luck on their side, and I promise y'all, I'm not trying to hate just because Mahomes is a division rival to the Broncos, but it's just stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense. Like one play, it was the touchdown to Tyreek Hill. That's what made me mad more than anything. Mahomes has nowhere to go. He just throws it up knowing Tyreek Hill is down the field. And all of a sudden, the Browns defender just doesn't know how to play defense. Like, it was frustrating to see that. And in fact, I think the defender was MJ Stewart. I'm pretty sure that was a defender. He just forgot how to play defense. So that's how that was. And also in this game, who was it that got ejected? I can't remember. In fact, I'm going to search it up right now, because it was a player. Ronnie Harrison. That's who it was. Ronnie Harrison got ejected for pushing the Chiefs assistant coach. But the thing is, if you watched it, Ronnie Harrison was pushed first. And all I could think about was, how does it not go both ways? How does it actually not go both ways? He was provoked, and I know it's a situation when you catch the first player, But I mean, you review stuff like that. That's ridiculous. And like I said, all I could think about when I saw that was when the Bengals and the Steelers played in a wild card that one year, and Vontaze Burfict had the hit, and then all of a sudden, Pac-Man Jones gets into it with Joey Porter, and Joey Porter steps onto the field, and then all of a sudden it goes from there, and they call a flag on Pac-Man. Like, I feel like it's too much being put onto the players, just to not be provoked. They're being provoked, and it's sad that the coaches can do literally whatever they want, and nothing is happening to them. So I find that very ridiculous. Myles Garrett even said it himself. The coach should have, if we're doing it that way, the coach should have been ejected. Because if we see it in most cases, if two players get into it to a point where it gets physical, 9 times out of 10, not one player is getting ejected. Both players are getting ejected. It needs to go both ways with coaches. That's all I'm going to say about that. Chiefs win. Browns, I still feel like they're a good contender. I'm going to stand by it as well. So that's just a little hiccup, you know. Dolphins defeat the Patriots 17-16. Mac Jones threw for 1 touchdown. I gotta kind of look at the box score. Tua threw 16 for 27, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That 1 touchdown was actually to Jalen Waddle. Mac Jones threw for 1 touchdown. It was to Nelson Aguilar. Damian Harris rushed for 100 yards for the Patriots. Nothing much about this game. I'll be honest, even if I watched this game, I wouldn't have cared much about it. That's just my opinion. Oh boy, do I even want to talk about this game. I haven't even gotten to the Titans game. That's really where y'all gonna see me rant. The Saints defeat the Packers 38-3. Jameis Winston, 5 touchdowns, 14 for 20, 148 yards. I have nothing else to say. In fact, you know what? Let's just cut it out. Let's just all cut it out, and let's just go straight to Green Bay. Because, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's not like I don't think it's not that I think Jameis Winston is a bad player, but we need to talk about Green Bay real quick. Aaron Rodgers, 15 for 28, 133 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. QBR rating of 13.5. I have nothing to say about anybody else on this team, because I know it is a team game. You blame the defense. You blame everybody like this. I have nobody else to blame. In fact, I'm going to let y'all know, Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I'm not a Green Bay fan. I am an Aaron Rodgers fan, but Aaron Rodgers played the worst game I have ever, and I mean ever, seen this man play. And it was wild to watch because I'm literally, how do I put this away? Anytime Aaron Rodgers messes up on offense, he goes to the sideline, not frustrated, not thinking about what he can do better. He just had a grin. It's almost like the meme where, the baby, like, what's that one meme where the baby is like, the house is on fire, and the baby is just looking at the camera smiling. That's pretty much what that was. Aaron Rodgers smiling, grinning, not caring at all about the fire that he has created. Like, we get it. You want out, but you just don't care about, you just don't care. You could care less. Like, I'm being honest with y'all. I see this being. I thought I had the Packers winning the division, and I still do. I still do because everybody in that division did not win a game. Sorry, I'm sorry I had to hear that. That happens a lot when I get upset. But excuse me. I have nothing else to say. Aaron Rodgers is single-handedly creating a dumpster fire because he wants out. I don't know what to say. All I can say is I'm interested to see how this goes. I'm interested to see how this goes. Because I am very interested. I'm speechless. I genuinely am. Like, Jordan Love came in, had a better completion rating on 7 passes. Not granted he did fumble, but I'm be honest, I have nothing else to say. Aaron Rodgers, I'm disappointed. And what's crazy is I'm on his side when it comes to things. But you can't be playing bad on purpose. And I hate when players do that when they don't want their way. They play bad, they play intentionally bad on purpose. And I hate it. I genuinely do. I don't hate a lot of stuff, but I hate that. It's like, bro, you get paid to play good. You get paid to play like an MVP player. You played bad on purpose. And I'm not hearing, and I promise you, I'm not hearing the entire first week rust thing like that. Cause y'all know I love to give players benefit of the doubt when it comes to the first week of the season. But I refuse to give Aaron Rodgers that first week of the season benefit of the doubt. I refuse to believe that because when I watched that game, I watched him play absolutely terrible on purpose. I seen him make throws that I know for a fact he can make that he didn't make. And it was absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not even a Packers fan. So I can only imagine how they felt watching that. Because I'm upset at what I had to watch. I had to sit there for 3 hours watching between the Chiefs and the Browns and the Saints and the Packers. And I'm watching the Chiefs come back thinking they're going to lose his game somehow. They don't end up losing. Then I watch Aaron Rodgers absolutely put on atrocious effort. And it pains me because, like, I've never seen him play so bad. But I'm talking about that topic way too much, and I still haven't even gotten to the Titans game yet. Let me just we're gonna talk about it later. Hopefully he bounces back. And what the hell? Sorry about that. I don't know what that advertisement was. But next game. Boy, I am riled up. Y'all don't understand. Okay, now on to better news. The Broncos defeat the Giants 27-13. I love it. Teddy Bridgewater, 28 for 36, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Melvin Gordon, 11 carries, 101 yards, 1 touchdown. Had a 70-yard touchdown to pretty much give us the game. I love it. I didn't have a chance to watch the game because I live in Tennessee. Yeah, I don't have NFL Red Zone and stuff like that. But I love it. I love it. Courtland Sutton didn't even have the best game, and we still pulled out a win. What else happened? Defensive wise, Kyle Fuller played great. Justin Simmons did his thing. Ronald Darby played good. Von Miller, 2 sacks. Gotta love it. 3 tackles for losses. Like I said, have to love it. Absolutely have to love it. And for what I'm seeing, Bradley Chubb did not play. I'm not sure. I'm honest, I haven't really paid much attention to like our team's like news. I do know like he was in something with the police. I don't know if that's the reason why he didn't play. I'm not sure. But Also on defense, Malik Reed did recover a fumble. Daniel Jones fumble. So yeah, pretty good game from our team overall. I love it. We're tied for first in the division. Let's keep it up. Yeah, so luckily for that. But like I said, the only unfortunate thing about this game was Jerry Jeudy suffered a high ankle sprain. And at first, I was very worried that it was going to be like a very, very, very bad injury. But Bleacher Report did just announce that Jerry Jeudy will be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. I do think we will be good without him, but that does suck to hear. So hopefully a speedy recovery for Jerry Jeudy. Yeah. Rams versus Bears. Boy, the Rams defeat the Bears 34-14. Matthew Stafford played like prime Matthew Stafford. That's all I gotta say. And by the way, just wanted to mention that the only quarterback. Oh, sorry, I was way too close to the mic. The only quarterback to score a touchdown for the Bears was, guess who? Guess who? Justin Fields. Justin Fields was the only quarterback to score for the Bears. Andy Dalton, 27-38, 206 yards, 1 pick. Got sacked 3 times. Matthew Stafford, 20-for-26, 328 yards, 3 touchdowns. Darrell Henderson, like I said, University of Memphis product, scored 1 touchdown. Cooper Kupp scored a touchdown. He had 7 catches for 108 yards. Van Jefferson scored 1 touchdown. And Robert Woods scored 1 touchdown. Yeah. Like I said, what else is there to say? I mean, I guess I can mention the fact that former Tennessee Titan David Long Jr., who's on the Rams now, he did catch an interception. So shout out to David Long Jr. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to give it 4 weeks. 4 weeks or less. Andy Dalton is losing that starting job. Because I get what Matt Nagy was going for. You know, he was going for the whole, you know what, why not let Justin Fields try in the red zone? You know, why not try it? And sure enough, he made no mistakes. Like I said, 4 weeks or less. 4 weeks or less. Andy Dalton will not be a starter. Now, I am going to sidetrack a little bit. Just sidetrack a little bit. With Ryan Fitzpatrick being on IR, I'm going to say it out front. Yes, they're probably going to start Taylor Heineke. But I do believe that the Washington football team will end up signing. They'll end up signing Cam Newton. I'll be surprised if they don't. I'll be honest. I will be highly surprised if they don't. But so yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'll be surprised if they don't sign him. Now on to the last thing I want to discuss before this podcast ends. And I'll be honest, I don't even think the calm music in the background is going to prevent what I had to say. In fact, I'm not even going to, maybe, you know what, I'm going to try my best not to get like super duper angry at this game, because this was another game that was frustrating to watch. But pretty much, the Arizona Cardinals defeated the Tennessee Titans 38-13. I wanted to turn this game off as soon as they scored. As soon as the first quarter ended, I wanted to turn this game off. You want to know why I wanted to turn this game off? Let's see how things go. First drive, nothing. Arizona scores, and from there, it's just a whole lot of us getting nowhere. We didn't get anywhere with the ball. And then all of a sudden, you got Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones had 3 sacks in the first half. Not the first half. The first quarter. I'm pretty sure. I think he had 3 sacks in the first quarter. Let that sink in. He ended the game with 5. And you know what? Let's just go through the stats real quick. Kyler Murray played like a Pro Bowl quarterback. 21 for 32, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. That 1 pick was to Kevin Byard. He also had a rushing touchdown. So Kyler Murray had 5 total touchdowns that game. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 touchdowns. Christian Kirk had 2 touchdowns. On the Tennessee side, Ryan Tannehill, 21 for 35, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That 1 pick was to Isaiah Simmons. Derrick Henry, 17 carries, 58 yards. I'm not even going to get into it. Derrick Henry he couldn't get anything going. And in fact, I've never seen let's take Derrick Henry out of so many plays. That's how much he got shut down. But I mean, can you blame him? Can you blame him when you got Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt coming in the backfield, just absolutely getting through to the offensive line, and you got guys like Taylor Lewan just getting absolutely bullied. Like I'm on the verge. Y'all don't understand how much I want to talk about this game, but I'm on the verge of losing my voice, so I'm going to try to calm down. And you're probably wondering, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad, Ryan Tannehill also fumbled twice and lost both of them. It was at those points I wanted to, just give up. Because never would I have thought that Houston would still be number 1 in the division after week 1. That's just my opinion. Defense played terrible. Offense played terrible. Horrible discipline by players. Julio Jones. Mike Vrabel said that Julio Jones, that personal foul penalty where we could have had a 3rd and 1, and then it turned into a 3rd and 16. Honestly, yeah, he can get mad about that. I don't care. We were still gonna lose that game. So yeah. Now people understand what I mean by saying that Arizona is one of the teams to watch out for this year. And I have them possibly winning the division. But I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to hope that next week Tennessee finds their groove against Seattle. Because I would hate for us to start 0-2. I'll be very frustrated if we go 0-2. If we start the season off 0-2. Now, on to other things. Later today, we do have a Monday Night Football game. The Ravens versus the Raiders. Going to be very interesting to see how that game goes, especially since Ravens are missing a lot of guys. Missing a lot of guys due to injury, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. Let's see if we have any other news. Jets left tackle Mekhi Becton to have knee surgery. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. I'll check the standings real quick just to be sure. Just to kind of keep everybody updated. In the AFC East, the Dolphins currently lead the division. Every other team lost. AFC North, only the Steelers and the Bengals won. We have yet to see the Ravens play, and Cleveland did lose. AFC South, the Houston Texans are the only team that won. AFC West, Kansas City, Denver, and Los Angeles all and the Chargers all won. So it's a 3-way tie currently. NFC East, playing like the NFC East. Philadelphia was the only team that won. Team to win. NFC North, nobody won. NFC South, everyone won except the Falcons. And the NFC West, everybody won. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm going to cut it short. By short, I mean, just at least make it somewhat interesting. I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, make sure to follow this podcast on Spotify. It is also on YouTube if you do not like listening to it on Spotify. You can also add me on my socials. My socials are on Twitter at officially Mlb and Instagram at official Mlb Robinson. Make sure to follow me on there. I'll be able to answer any questions and look at any input that anybody has about the podcast. I'm sorry that I didn't put the podcast out a lot earlier than I said I would, but I got burnt out. A lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes, stuff like that. But I'm going to be back on schedule hopefully soon. I'm going to make sure to be back on schedule, even if that means I have to wake up a lot earlier than I usually do to start my day. But yeah, I'm going to cut this podcast short. I'll be back with you all tomorrow. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Take care and peace.